him a lot.
Some of my favorite times with Alex would have to be playing mini stick lacrosse in my backyard or his backyard or at the beach, or either going to LMH or Country Day and having pickup games. It was always such a blast. We always had so much fun. And I still remember the first time I think I'd actually ever seen lacrosse actually played was when at Locust Grove, the LMH lacrosse team, which was very new, came over and we're having a little scrimmage to show everyone at Locust Grove to try and get people to play and involved with lacrosse. I still remember Alex suited up that day to play in the scrimmage, and I remember everyone's jaws just dropping when they saw how good Alex was in middle school at the time. And through that, I mean, he got so many people to play in high school and really changed a lot of lives through that. And it's pretty cool to see, even just through something as simple as lacrosse, how many people he was able to influence and change their lives. And got me playing, got a lot of other people playing, and we had our lives changed and a lot of great times through it.
Hey, Humble family, this is Andrew. Just wanted to share one of my favorite memories with Alex. I think looking back, one of my favorite memories with Alex was just hanging out in the Whalen's basement and just having a good time. And every single time that me, Pat, and Alex would hang out, we would always just have so much fun and have a great night.
Hi, my name is Emily, and I have known Alex since 6th grade, all the way back when we were at Locust Grove Mennonite School, which feels like an eternity ago. And I was reflecting on what specific memories I wanted to share in this clip about Alex. And, there wasn't any one single memory that stood out to me, but rather it was just the way that I felt when I was around him that I wanted to talk about. And so I thought about 3 words that I feel best describe his personality. I think humble is the first, which is kind of funny because it rhymes with his last name, but he had so much to be proud of. He was an incredible lacrosse player, an incredible friend, an incredible brother and son, and everything you can name it. But you never heard him brag or boast about any of those accomplishments, which I always just really admired. The next word that I thought of was inviting. I have all these memories of being over at his house and with a group of friends or going sledding at Buchanan Park, and he was just always the type of guy who you just instantly felt comfortable with. He just had the warmest personality. He was just a complete joy to be around. And then lastly, he was just a friend to all. He was a friend to everybody who he encountered. He just had that ability to create that instantaneous connection with a person, which is so rare, especially now, I feel like. And he had that gift. And, going through an experience like this, I can imagine for his family is incredibly difficult. But I hope that hearing stories of how much Alex impacted other people, even someone like me who I wouldn't say that we were the best of friends, I hope that gives some comfort and peace of mind, knowing what an incredible person he was and knowing that we're not going to forget about him and we're going to keep his memory alive. So I'm thinking of all of you often and hoping that you can find the peace that you need.
My name is Brendan Ross, and I coach Alex during the spring of 2010. As time has passed, I forgot the names and faces of most of the players I coached. However, a couple have been with me and will continue to be with me for the rest of my life. Of course, Alex was one of those players. Alex was an all-around great guy, and he had a smile that I can still picture today. He was not only a leader on the lacrosse field, but more importantly, he was generous, humble, and kind to friends, family, teammates, coaches, and everyone that touched his life. Although smaller than most of the players on the field, Alex was a cut above athletically than everyone he played with. I remember thinking if we had an Alex Umbel at every position, we would have actually had a chance at a championship. Had I been in Alex's shoes, I would have been frustrated by the lack of skill around me. However, Alex never spoke negatively of his teammates, maintained his competitive spirit, and did everything he could to make others around him better, whether players or coaches. The unwavering sportsmanship that he showed on the field reflected the type of guy he was off the field. At a time when most men acted up, Alex showed maturity well above his years. He was truly a pleasure to coach, and I will never forget him as an athlete or a person. I can still hear his laugh and picture his contagious smile. He made coaching a pleasure, and I hope that Alex learned as much from me as I did from him. I'm sorry for your loss beyond words. Thank you for allowing me to get to know your son. I'll bring a part of Alex with me everywhere I go.
Hello, Umbel family. Greetings. Happy holidays. My name is Taylor. I've never formally met you folks, but me and Alex, we share a mutual friend in Pat, who's a very good friend of mine, and as you know, lifelong friend of Alex's. So I've been around and I've hung around Alex a number of times throughout the years, dating back senior year of high school and then throughout college when we come home for like breaks and whatnot. So I know him a fair bit, and I would just like to say that you've raised a very intelligent, charismatic, and kind young man who I was fortunate enough to know. Not to mention athletic. I knew nothing about lacrosse before I met Pat and Umbel. I mean, these guys would talk about lacrosse all the time, so I either had to get with the program or get out. So I picked up pretty quickly, and it's an interesting sport. Not a sport I played growing up, but I was very intrigued by it. You know, who's good this year in college, in high school, who's good on township, who's good on Catholic, etc., etc. Yeah, just a ball to be around. But yeah, I just pray that you folks cling together this holiday. I can't imagine what you folks have endured this year. So I just pray that you cling together, you love each other this holiday season and beyond, and you remember a young man who was a light in this world, and I truly and genuinely mean that, and I'm fortunate enough to have known him, and he will live on through you folks, through everybody he came in contact with. So yeah, much love coming from me, and I hope you make the best of this holiday, and like I said, remember, it's a celebration of life, and he will be missed.
Over the years, I've become so close with Pat Whalen. He's one of my closest guy friends. And even though I didn't really spend a lot of time with Alex after I met him, I know how much of an impact he had on so many people just from his relationship with Pat. He was like a brother to Pat. They laughed together. They cried together. They shared so many memories together. They were like insane together. And I know how special he was just from listening to stories that Pat would tell me. Whenever they were hanging out, Pat would text me and tell me how much he loved spending time with Alex. Alex was his best friend, and he loved every moment that he spent with him.
I've known Alex for a little over 3 years. We met when he came and visited Pat at Cabrini, and from the second I met him, we just didn't stop laughing like idiots. To this day, I can still hear and see that laugh, and that's something that has kept me going, especially in those times where I just get upset over the whole situation. Your family will always be in my prayers, and your son will always be a great friend to me. I can only imagine how hard it is for you guys, and I just want you to know that support is all over. He will never be forgotten, and he will always be remembered as that happy kid that touched the lives of many. I wish you guys a very Merry Christmas and a blessed New Year. May the future bring you happiness and peace.
What I always noticed about Alex was just his unconditional friendship, and that he was comfortable with himself. He didn't really need to be anybody else or try to impress anyone. And he was, like I said, this great friend to Patrick. And he just liked Patrick for who he was. And he helped Patrick as a person. He took Patrick's shenanigans and he rolled with them. And when Patrick had hard times, he was always there for him. And he helped him through all his troubles. And it didn't seem to ruffle him. He was just always there. He was this great friend. And in my head, I can still hear Alex when he would come in the house, and he would always say, "Hi, Mrs. Whalen." And I hope that voice never goes away. I hope that doesn't fade. It's still there, and I can hear it sometimes. So I can tell you one small story. This is just how honest Alex was, but Patrick had gotten himself in a little bit of a jam, had to tell a lie to us to get himself out of it when he shared with Alex what he had told me about the situation. They were talking downstairs and didn't realize that I could hear them upstairs. And I heard Alex say, "Well, that's the dumbest lie you could have told your mom." And I just laughed. And later, Patrick realized that I had heard them downstairs, and we still kid about that today. So we miss Alex dearly. But his virtues will live on, and they've made their mark with us. And that's his everlasting gift.
Well, my memories of Alex are just right at the front of my memory bank. That I always was happy when he was here because he had such a smile on his face. He was so easy to talk to, and he was so comfortable talking to parents. And he was such a calm and kind and just smiling child. Child when I knew him first, and young adult as I knew him most recent. And we just dearly miss him and feel his presence in so many different ways. We feel his presence when we're in different parts of town. We feel his presence when we're around Patrick. And the one thing about Alex, of all the friends of our children, he just fit right in and was loved by the other two children as well. Obviously, Patrick and he were best buds and had a great friendship, but Aaron loved him and Brendan loved him. He just fit into the family so well. So God bless you, the Umbles. God bless Alex, and we'll never forget him. And we think of him and pray for him all the time.
Hi, Umble family. I miss you. Happy holidays. I hope I get to see you guys all soon. So, as you already know, I have way too many memories of Alex to even choose a favorite, but I think one of my best memories of Alex is when Bridget and I went to visit him at Otterbein our freshman year of college. He was so excited to have us there and to introduce us to his friends and to show us around and to show us his new home. It was so obvious how much he loved Otterbein and he loved his friends there and playing lacrosse with them. And we had such a fun weekend together full of laughter. I don't think we stopped laughing the whole time. And we did the most ridiculous things, such as him and his best friends streaking down the main street of Otterbein in the middle of the night and me and Bridget filming it for them and of course holding their clothes. Still can't find the video, but I'll let you know if I find it.